Good evening, everyone, and welcome here to Style Esports. I am your play-by-play and host, Necrox, and once again joined by the lovely 1,000 Eyes. And we got a quarterfinals matchup coming at you hot between N20 Barbarians and I Don't Know.
Yeah, which is going to be interesting to try and work that into a sentence saying like I don't know is whatever, but we are here. We are in the draft, and right off the bat, we got the Morgana ban. Morgana Freeman not going to be getting that champion, I would assume, at all this series.
Yeah, I gotta get away apt to the name, right? Don't give someone that has that name as their champion, right? It just doesn't make any sense. How could you pass it over? But regardless, it will be banned away along with the Alistar and Jhin for N20, and IDK gonna ban away the Deer, the Bear, the Phoenix all in one, along with the Cho'Gath and the Galio.
Yeah, the Cho'Gath being just a strong, solid top lane pick that is easy to play. So getting that off the board, the Galio, both these support players are tank support player mains, with that Rel being the most popular one for Nemesis. So I'm not surprised to see that come out early. Based on what I have seen stats-wise, Nemesis is really, really solid at the Rel. And when you have somebody who is good at Rel, they can take over games.
Yeah, they can get those quick flash engages and just be there in your team before you really recognize it. But this is an interesting pick here for Leoncia. It's Kayn automatically locked in here. I assume it's going jungle. There's a chance we get a blue Kayn in a solo lane. Not very likely, but the Leona will be grabbed to pair with it, getting a little bit of that crowd control in for Demi.
Yeah, and it's kind of just a back and forth of the engaged supports there, so not surprising. Kayn has been ramping up in popularity in the jungle since a lot of the other nerfs. So the Gore Drinker, obviously Olaf has kind of fallen off because of those nerfs in a lot of ways. Kayn has a lot of versatility. He can go red form or blue form. It's not like before where going blue form was kind of trolling. You can actually go for that blue form if there are enough squishy people, and you will obliterate somebody. Red Kayn is still really, really solid, and judging by the picks that Barbarians are picking up here, I think it would definitely be the right call.
Yeah, speaking about obliterating some dudes, you can't really get much better than Rel, Hecarim, and Malphite. Like, these champs all just want to press their go buttons, start running at you at the speed of light, get that quick engage, and make your life a living hell. Now is a real daunting task of figuring out how to counter this quick engage. You gotta pick safety here for your champions. Gnar is another one that would like to find a nice quick engage. Can be caught out though in the mini farm, so having to play around that rage bar, not going to be super easy when you have Barbarians who could really pull the trigger at any moment.
Yeah, but it does give Meme Lord a lot of control in that lane. If the trades can go well for him, he can get a zone and just completely keep Malphite off of the wave. Malphite later on will be able to tank some of that, but even in that late game, Gnar's going to be too tanky for Malphite to actually do damage to, but he's still going to take some damage because of the W on Gnar in mini form, giving that magic damage. So I like this pickup here. I think it gives a lot of kind of lane priority, which Kayn really, really loves. It allows him to just get those quick ganks off to just get the damage down. He doesn't want to actually like try and go for kills early on generally. He just wants to pop in, get the damage for the orbs, and get back to farming.
Yeah, get all that in your pocket, then eventually transform the itemizations to boot, and everything starts to come nice and in line. But for bans now in second phase, we're going to get Jinx and Xerath, a little bit of range taken away from Barbarians, anything that could follow up and all that crowd control from this draft that they've gotten themselves. So Ahri's going to be banned away as well. A champion that could do enough to avoid an initial engage with the Spirit Rush. Senna is also going to be banned away. Makes a lot of sense, right? Scaling, it's safety, sustain in the lane, has enough range to basically avoid the engage just straight up outright. and one of the few champs that actually can't do that in the marksman role. Now, IDK have to grab something here, whether it is their mid laner or their AD. We still have to find out. I would expect to see a marksman pick here for IDK, and with 3 seconds left on the clock, indeed, it's the Sivir.
Yeah, so this is a premier AD carry for Haphazardous, has just absurd stats on it, especially because this champion has not really been seen a whole lot lately. She has, once again, just with other changes, the Senna pick kind of falling in popularity, Sivir has come up, and it works really well with this team here. You've got the Leona and the Gnar who want that move speed to be able to go in, and then the Kayn who can also utilize that really well to come from the flank, get in the wall, and just zoom into somebody here. Lucian taken here, not entirely sure if that is going to be bot or mid. I really hope it is a bot lane Lucian, actually, because if there isn't, there is so much physical damage on the side of Barbarians there, and there is going to be the Zillion. So yeah, gonna have so much survivability here. It's going to be very hard to kill somebody, but it does worry me because Barbarians' damage composition is a little bit lacking.
Yeah, and they don't have much ability power in the name of Zillion, right? You gotta build full AP if you want to get the damage profile looking a little bit better, but Zillion doesn't really like to do that. He likes to build more supportive style. Everfrost would feel real good in this champion, so we'll see how that one goes out, but oh, this is something spicy from IDK. Oh, okay, yeah, just kidding.
That's Anivia. That's not spicy at all. That is exactly what we would have expected there. So I really like this. Now, Anivia does not really actually like Sivir ult that much. However, with all the setup and the burst that Anivia currently has in her current state, I think it is a good solid pick here. It will just kind of farm up. Zillion will not be able to punish Anivia terribly much. And she'll be able to just kind of scale up, hit that level 6 point. The one thing I do want to point out, though, Zillion in the mid lane, AP Zillion is a lot of damage if the double bombs hit. So like, don't sleep on it. It does a lot of damage. However, when you're looking at like just late game here, the Malphite is not going to do much damage. The Rel is not going to do much damage. Hecarim's damage falls off super hard in the late game because he is just building, you know, mostly tank bruiserish types of stats and relies on his base stats. Lucian is going to be very short range, and when you're looking at Sivir, Kayn, Leona, like all champions that can close that gap pretty well with the help that the rest of the team brings, that's very scary for Lucian, and you have to play that almost perfectly or make sure your team is always starting off the fight in order to actually play this champion.
Yeah, and we still have to find out where Leoncia wants to bring this Kayn, whether it's blue or red, but either way, it's actually still a threat, right? Blue Kayn obviously is that one shot, like, oh my gosh, where did my health bar go kind of feeling, but red Kayn is really obnoxious. The knockups, the slows, everything on this Lucian, because he is so short ranged. And yeah, I like the point that you're bringing is they've drafted a nice disengage style composition. As long as Sivir and Anivia don't get hit by the initial full-on engage from the Malphite Hecarim Rel, they can kite back and just annoy the living hell out of N20 Barbarians. Slow fields, walls, bouncing boomerangs, everything on the like. So I do enjoy what IDK are trying to do with the drafts, but again, playing into Hecarim, Malphite, even Zillion to make the pony go even faster, it's no easy task. Your positioning has to be perfect. You have to be ready to flash the engage at any point, and this game could flip on its head with one single decision from N20.
Yeah, the longer the game goes, the better it's going to go for I don't know, because they just scale up so much better. Their tanky members still do some damage in the late game. The Anivia and the Sivir are still going to be really, really threatening. I'm assuming this is going to be the current Sivir build of the Duskblade with the Man Immune. Brings a lot of damage on that Q, and that poke and siege can be very, very hard to deal with when you also add Anivia into the mix. This Kayn, this would be completely trolling in my opinion if you go anything other than red form, because not only do you have Rel, Hecarim, and Malphite, who are very beefy people and are never going to get blown up by a Shadow Assassin Kayn, you also have Zillion, who can just counter that ultimate exceedingly well to the point where you're just not useful. So this is absolutely a red form Kayn that is just going to try and be enough frontline along with the Gnar and Leona to allow the two threats of Sivir and Nivea to just kind of sit back, get the damage down, and try and kite out the rest of the Barbarians team.
I just feel bad, man, for Haphazard. He's going to be whacking away on this Malphite, Hecarim, Rel trio. Going to be doing all this damage, throwing in the auto attacks. He's like, okay, I got one, guys. Oh, wait, just kidding. The Chrono Shift came in and Zillion actually just revived one of his teammates. Let's do it all over again. Round 2, trying to kill whoever you focus down. So I really need to get your target prioritization on point. And Zillion ulti is such a low cooldown, especially towards the end of the game, that God King quite literally could ult twice in a fight if it goes long enough. So I'll really need to be careful of that Zilly ulti. But outside of that, we're just about ready for quarterfinals here. Final concluding thoughts here, maybe on specific matchups or players as we get ready in our bracket 8 here at Style Esports.
Yeah, so this top lane, absolutely, Meme Lord, gonna be really solid and just being able to push that. The only thing you have to watch for is the Hecarim, but that is basically just the only worry in that top lane there for Meme Lord. The mid lane matchup here, that actually can go a little bit lopsided for God King Michael if Anivia is able to hit one of those combos there. You have the Flash Frost to really just blow somebody up. I'm sure a lot of people have seen how much damage Anivia can do when you get that extra damage from the chill effect. And this bot lane, that one is going to very much be favored for the Lucian early on. Sivir can poke that out, and once the first items start hitting, Sivir's goal is really just going to be hitting those boomerang blades. And then once the Lucian or the Rel are low, Leona can engage and they can finish them off pretty effectively. That one, just watch for the junglers there, because whenever you have tank supports, that is always there for the setup for the ganks.
Always got to be wary of those engagements and the junglers getting involved nice and early. We'll keep an eye on pathing. We'll keep an eye on where the supports are moving across the map. And of course, we'll keep an eye on who's going to win this best of 3 series here in quarterfinals. With spectator delay just ticking down to about 90 seconds. We'll be right back after that is over to bring you the action on the Rift. Welcome everyone once again here to Style Esports. We are back on the Rift and ready to go here in quarterfinals. N20 Barbarians taking on I don't know. And I actually do know the team, but you know, names and the like make me feel like an idiot sometimes. But IDK is just a better way to, I think, bring them to life here on the Rift. And we'll get a 5-point fan. Basically, it's Lancia trying to do something maybe a little bit cheeky there on the cane, but won't find too much. Just an early ward here as God King will sit on that one. And this should be a really fun and interesting matchup. I think with the Dark Harvest Sivir, we're going to see a lot of poke coming out. And this is the story of disengage versus engage. 1,000 eyes.
Yeah, there's a lot of tools to just get into the fight there. I actually have not seen enough of Zilean with the Rel, and that could actually be like really scary because one of Rel's supposed weaknesses is her move speed drop when she gets into the armored form there, but like with the speed buff from the Zilean getting the horse form in there, that could be really devastating if you're not careful.
Yeah, and like the initial speed up as well. Like it feels like both of the horses this game really could be running awfully fast. I don't know. We'll see how God King decides to use the speed, whether it is on his engaging members or if it's just on the Lucian to be able to kite around and peel himself a little more effectively. We'll see how the strategy evolves from there. But quick look across Summoner's Rift. That's actually a crash down in bot lane, but level 1 doesn't really provide all too much for Nemesis. So we'll just get a nice double knockup, flexing the might of the Rel. But I did want to mention the TPs that are here. 4 TPs in the game. Every solo laner will be getting it, and an exhaust here for Nemesis.
Yeah, the exhaust gonna try and stop this cane from going deep in. I don't really like the exhaust pickup here because you're not looking to stop any burst damage, right? You're getting poked from the Sivir. You're not gonna really be able to do much with the exhaust on her. The Anivia, once again, is not like it's not that her burst is like a one combo thing. She could do it again in a couple seconds as long as you're just standing in the ult. There really aren't a lot of great exhaust targets, and that ignite can be really big once this cane gets into red form and needs the healing reduction.
Yeah, gotta get that Grievous Wounds underway, and really for a lot of this team, Grievous Wounds is going to be necessary. Anivia can get a little more health back than you may expect. Gnar actually gets some as well. Nice spell shield, but the stun won't connect from the Attract and Repel. Dashing forward with a Relentless Pursuit goes this Lucian, but not going to be able to find just enough. Yeah, that's the threat of the Rel Lucian lane. They can kind of do a lot. Meanwhile, topside Viper getting chunked to, what is it, about a quarter HP.
Yeah, not respecting the damage of the Gnar and trying to just keep that wave frozen and keep it from crashing into the tower, but not successful in doing so. Has the corrupting pot, so should be able to stay alive there. I did want to point out the reason that bot lane trade went so wrong for I don't know was the fact that Haphazardous just whiffed the boomerang blade. Demi hit the good stun with the Leona, but Haphazardous just whiffed it on that boomerang blade, and that cost them a lot in that trade.
And you can see Lancia just chilling up here, maybe waiting for the dive. Gonna channel the recall for now, see if the wave can get pushed in time, or if it's even worth staying around. And the recall looks like it will go through. Indeed, just a couple wards placed around their top side to keep this shoving Gnar nice and safe. But with a Mechanic Maniac chilling here on bot side, not too much threat. And Viper will just continually get punished here in this top lane, in this melee versus ranged matchup.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we talked about in the draft about like what they needed to do. They needed to make sure Meme Lord could stay safe, could keep poking this Malphite, abuse that ranged melee matchup. And not only is Leoncia getting up there and just pressuring to make sure that there's no countering, but leaving the ward as well. You can see there's a ward in the river as at the same time. So there's going to be so much for Meme Lord to be able to just play as aggro as he wants.
Oh, the flash doesn't get him away. That's an exhaust, but it's only onto the Leona, and first blood goes there all the same. The Lucian forced to flash away, but that was just poor timing from N20's bot lane. The flash doesn't get you to safety after the Zenith lane gone through, but here we go top side. The devastating charge will find Meme Lord. No Mega available, and a return kill here for N20. They lose out in bot side, but they return in top.
Yeah, the one spot they didn't have that ward was in that bush area, so as long as he went through the blue buff there and did not take the blast cone, was going to be able to get through. Mechanic Maniac able to help his top laner out, get him a kill, and that will allow the Malphite to get a little bit tankier and be able to survive this laning phase there. And that bot lane, however, Haphazardous just able to shred through people with that boomerang blade. Leona, obviously early game damage is super strong and capable of just popping people with help from an ally, so I'm not surprised to see that early kill come through. The Lucian really needs to be able to get that Kraken Slayer, and Rel needs to be able to get a little bit more tanky to take these fights.
And Lancia will not be able to get any of those chickens as well, so the counter jungling there is successful, and now a 10 CS lead for the Hecarim. This is when the pony can get really, really punishing. When Hecarim gets a lead, it feels really abusive, the fact that Onslaught of Shadows comes in, you know, you can deny maybe that initial engage with a flash, but then he just runs you down with his E and doesn't really care about how far away you are to begin with. Pair that up with a Zillion as well, and things are looking a little rough here for IDK, but they did get first blood in bot lane, and with it, they have now gotten their way toward the Manamune, and a Kindle Gem already in pocket here for Demi.
Yeah, a little bit beefier, and they will be able to get that level 6 point a little bit sooner there. I'm actually curious now that I'm thinking about it. One thing that Hecarims have been trying out lately is, yeah, it will be the Toxic Chem Tank coming through for the Hecarim. Just give that extra move speed for the engage potential and the initial burst of damage while still being tanky in the late game. Leoncia, though.
Yeah, not going to be stunned up by Nemesis, but here we go. It's going to be a 3v3 in the bot side. Unstoppable goes the Onslaught of Shadows. Mechanic Maniacs on the back line, and he's found the jungler. Now he's on to more. Demi's the sacrificial Leona trying to get away with a Zenith Blade, but just can't do it, and Haphazardous has to run away from the fight. They lose 2 for nothing.
Yeah, getting a little bit too deep in there, and it looked like it was going to start to be a good turnaround there, but Mechanic Maniac was there, popped the Ghost, and that crucial level 6 point being there from those Raptor Steel was huge. The Bomby Cinder obviously making him a bit tankier, and just the base damages on this Hecarim are too much for this Leona, and Haphazardous now might be dead.
Oh man, you're flashing away, but only into the culling. Flashing late, doesn't have the heal available either. The spell shield was actually pretty nice, but doesn't matter at all. 4-1 here to N20 as they've started to take this game and run with it.
Yeah, and that's just that was just greedy. Like, the Sivir there is a quarter health. Even if the Rel is not there, you're talking about a Lucian who has a lot of early game damage, has the pickaxe, and can burst people, just lacks a little bit in the DPS department. There's no reason to be up there when your support is dead, lane is pushed in a bad spot, you just back at that point. So that is just a crucial mistake there from Haphazardous.
Yeah, just losing your life there, maybe out of tilt, greed, whatever it is, certainly no excuse all the same. And now the gold lead is quite substantial for this blue side squad in N20. They've built themselves up about 1,000 gold, only 9.5 minutes in. And now the name of the game is really just extending that lead. What else can you find across the map that pushes this Lucian to a point of no return? What else can you find that gives this Hecarim that advantage to one-shot anyone that he so chooses? And we'll see what their game plan is. But for Lancia, it's actually this Rift Herald that's been taken with the Onslaught of Shadows will punish him to the fullest extent possible. The Umbral Trespass going to go through, but no way away out of the fight, and Viper's joining it in with the Unstoppable Force onto the squishy Meme Lord. He's not Mega anymore. It's the squishiest little bear you've ever seen. Mechanic Maniac picking up 2.
Yeah, it was a good call to go for that Rift Herald there. Just took a little bit too long, and Mechanic Maniac was able to get that kill. The down play from Meme Lord was just not a good call there. You had not only was Malphite able to basically walk down with it, and you knew the Malphite had ultimate, the Zilean also able to walk up and provide that extra backup. And I don't know if that was called or not by Morgana Freeman, but when you know that the Zilean is also getting up there, there's no way for you to get that Kayn out. You just let the sacrifice happen and you stay in your lane and farm.
Yeah, you try to give up as little as possible, right? Cut your losses, but now Meme Lord, now that he's lost his life, this top lane lead that he built up for himself doesn't feel too large anymore. Dragon on the board though, Thousand Eyes. This is a critical objective. Well, it's really only the second one. Ooh, nice sidestep there. That's the flash engage though. The exhaust is there as well. Solar Flare not gonna really find very much. The damage on the Haphazardous is a lot. The Culling gonna go down. The flash forward for the Lucian. Now Demi's trying to get himself away. A couple more shots in the back, but will be safe for now. But without the Sivir here to provide a little bit more DPS for the fight. Not sure that IDK would ever feel comfortable stepping up to this one, but Lancia feels comfortable enough to step up into his jungle, but it's not yours anymore, buddy. Asurka is on his rampage now on this Lucian, and that is exactly where you want to be if you're N20. Get this snowball rolling, get it going, and they have a nice sizable lead for themselves now.
Yeah, Viper just gonna run back to the tower there, and that there were so many points of just misplay here as, oh no.
Yeah, Demi's already dead. There's no way out. Easy pick in there. Nemesis finding himself a free kill.
Yeah, so in that original bot lane fight there, the call was to go on to Haphazardous there, and the Solar Flare from the Leona needed to be on the damage dealer. It went on to Rel, but Rel had already done her job. She was on the Sivir, had used the ultimate. Stunning her is not providing anything to your Sivir. And then after that, it was just the spell shield went on to the ultimate, which then kept her stuck in anyway. It was just bad to worse. And then Lancia ended up just walking in. Once again, just a lack of being able to give up something after you have already lost something. Teams, especially in lower levels, just struggle with that concept of, we've lost this, we need to just sacrifice it.
Oh, there is the Malphite ulti, and easy stuff once again. But Lancia is going to try to trade this one back. It would be a nice kill to pick up for the K, and it's going to be a lot of damage coming through. Umbral Trespass, but Viper's not dead just quite yet. Can Leo get away from the turret? No, you can't get away. The slow was too much, and it's a 1 for 2. Again, not really worth. You'll take it because you get a kill on your Kane, but it just doesn't feel good enough for IDK to be able to find any way back, as they have really started to drown here under the tidal wave that is the pressure from N20's composition.
Yeah, especially when that was the one lane that was kind of like bullying and winning. You don't want to give more gold to that Malphite and let him kind of get tanky and beefy. You want to allow Gnar to keep punishing him. I know that you want the stacks. We're looking at a Kayn that is still not transformed at this point. Oh no, just transformed now, so is red form now. But this is a very late transform, all things considered.
Late transform, and I'm really question marking the itemization. Eclipse Red Kayn? I'm not sure why you wouldn't go Stridebreaker or Gore Drinker. Something to provide you a little more sustain in the fight. Seems like he's got the itemization for Blue Kayn, but has the wrong transformation. As here comes Mechanic Maniac in bot lane. Nice spell shield actually from Haphazardous, having to flash away, and Demi will be sacrificial, but maybe not. Flashing away actually to safety is this bot lane, using both their flashes to be able to find a way away, but much better than just straight up dying.
Yeah, that's the disengage we needed to see there. The teleport also being used by Michael, so the Anivia able to get the shove. This is great for her. She can back. I would assume has enough for the Leandry's torment coming through. The I am just as confused as you about the Eclipse pickup here. This is, oh man, Viper.
Just probably straight up dead. No, actually, Seismic Shove, or Seismic Shard, excuse me, on cooldown, so we'll actually be able to survive, at least for a little bit. Not sure that you want to stick up around here too much longer, Mr. Meme Lord 0550. Will take his recall, but the first turret went down in bot side. It is actually post 14, so not going to get all too much gold, but still 4K at 15 minutes. That's really, really a lot. I mean, that's a sizable lead to have to come back from at this point in the game. And when you're the ones that need to be disengaging, when you're the ones that need to be at the objective first, forcing the enemy into you, it feels like it's just so impossible to ever step up and get that control.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough here. Now, I think this, not only do they have the disengage, but they also scale pretty decently, so I'm not too worried about, I don't know. They just need to stop giving these things away extra when they are losing these objectives here. You know, just every time we see them go towards a Rift Herald or a Dragon or something, they get overly greedy about how they handle it, and just one person goes down and then somebody else on the team is like, oh, I need to try and help save that person, and puts themselves in a bad spot. Sometimes you just say, okay, we've lost this, just give it. Don't even try and risk yourself at it. We can do other things with that time, but that just has not happened yet.
Hasn't happened, and it's actually an interesting game we've got going on here at Thousand Eyes. IDK is not supposed to be winning this game. If you look at the elo, if you look at the standings between these two squads, N20 is favored coming into this one, or at least the way that the elo has been shaken out. But this Dragon would be whoever's second if they did get it, but IDK not wanting to step up to that one. Probably wise to not do that here. Give up this Dragon, don't worry about it. Go farm. Meme Lord here, free hitting on top side. May actually be able to take this turret if he can get one more wave shoved in.
Yeah, there is no opportunity to get up there and try and take that fight there. Leoncia, you can see 3 levels down right now in the jungle. That is a substantial amount of experience to be down. Meme Lord gonna get that tower, but now gonna get engaged on.
Yeah, not gonna go mega just quite yet, using the Stride Breaker to just barely get out of the edge of the culling there from N20's AD carry. So just fine here for now. Gonna take the recall, gets the turret, and that'll decrease the gold lead that has been built up here. But we'll actually stick around to collect this wave. Going back into mini though, and actually Leoncia could head on up here if they do want to punish this Lucian. It's only a bot lane. Lucian's side lane at this point is a little bit dangerous. He's still a level down, so has to be relatively careful. But Nemesis is coming up to support him, and Mechanic Maniac chilling here on top side as well.
Yeah, Leoncia looking to try and make sure that he can help his top laner out with the dive.
Yeah, this is going to be bad. Meme Lord having to flash away, but not going to use it just quite yet. And he never flashes away from the fight. The Onslaught of Shadows will not connect to a good time to Umbral Trespass. The exhaust going to go down as well. But in a 1v3 under your turret, what can you ask? That's a nice solar flare. Nice chain CC. Oh, but that's heartbreak. The chrono break will save Mechanic Maniac unless he doesn't get it in time. The turret shot was actually canceled. And now Demi will feel the wrath of the bullets in the back of a Lucian that has 7 kills. It is so dang unfortunate. The timing on that turret going down could not have been any worse. It's a lot of damage spilling out as Circa will have to back away at about 10% HP, but that is so unfortunate.
Yeah, that is depressing for I don't know there. You had Leoncia there to help out with the dive, but Gnar had no opportunity to go into Mega, and the burst damage in mini form was too much to deal with. Leoncia got a good knock-up, but like you said, Meme Lord did not get the flash. Now Leoncia needs a little bit of help with this Malphite.
Yeah, and he will call for assistance. In they go once again. The Zenith Blade will not connect, and Viper is awfully speedy After that Q over the wall, he goes with the blast cone, but on the hunt is haphazardous. One boomerang in the back. There it is, shut down. Will it be passed over to the Sivir? The third kill this team has picked up all night.
Yeah, now you got Hyper him.
Yeah, and it's going to have to flash over the wall. Memelord actually gets a dash away, so they've used a lot now. The culling and the onslaught of shadows no longer available, but what does the fight look like as Memelord has to flash away as well? The crash down is used by Nemesis, but still marching forward is this Hecarim. Has the support of his squad right behind him. The knockup's going to be there with the Blade Reach, and now they're charging forward. We'll throw back Morgana Friedman for a little bit as the Glacial Storm will be thrown up to deny any further engage. Still 14-3, just barely getting away, but they're not willing to give up this blue buff, Thousand Eyes. Everyone is here.
Yeah, and they're trying to get this to the Anivia. Will go to Leoncia, which helps with the experience now, but yeah, you can see, oh no!
That is a big knockup from Viper as he finds everyone. Solar Flare into the back end of the fight. It's Magnus Farm's going to go down as well. And here you go. The fight's going to be an absolute wipe, but not if this jungler has anything to say about it. The Agnivia will be annihilated as well. I thought it was going to be a clean sweep after that Malphite ulti went down. But a nice solar flare and knockup from Leoncia will absolutely do everything that IDK could ask for. They find everyone except for the Hecarim, who had to run for the hills. IDK somehow managed to scrape out a win in their jungle.
Yeah, the Malphite ult was great, but there was no Onslaught of Shadows available to follow up on that. And Asakura, we talked about the low range, how much that could cause an issue in these fights, and that was exactly where it was. Morgana Freeman, with the ultimate, able to just create a zone that is so hard to walk through for so much of N20's team. Demi able to peel enough to get that damage down. Yes, the carries did end up falling, but they put out enough damage that the bruisers left on the team were able to clean it up.
Good stuff there, and now they might feel comfortable stepping up to this dragon. Spawning now, Viper has the ulti.
Memelord is topside right now, has the teleport, will be using it, but is coming just after coming out of Mega Form.
Here they go, Onslaught of Shadows in the backline, it finds 3, but the stun is absolutely massive for Morgana Friedman, but the knockup from Viper is there once again, but they do not have the damage, Thousand Eyes. They don't have the resources to clean up this fight. The Lucian goes down too early and the damage just isn't there. We were talking about how they needed this Lucian to do the main DPS and they get full 5 for nothing. Do you believe in miracle comebacks? Because IDK certainly does.
Sakura is just struggling right now. A great ultimate engage from Demi to just force the Lucian to not be able to participate, and meanwhile there is nowhere near enough damage on the rest of the team to stop Haphazardous and Morgana Freeman from being able to eventually work through these beefy frontliners here. Viper and Mechanic Maniac are very strong and are very hard to take down. However, they don't have enough damage to just blow through this Anivia and Sivir with the on the hunt going.
Yeah, the culling gonna go down, but nice smite secure. Demi's gonna look for a Zenith Blade. I'm not sure they want to take this fight. Haphazardous is going to die. Yes, the Sivir is caught out. Feels bad being an AD carry in 2021. Crystalline Barrier gonna go up. Nice stun. There's the Everfrost as well, but not really sure God King. Yeah, not sure God King really has enough there to be able to follow through anything. So we'll just find a stun and walk away. But that's Baron for IDK at 23.5 minutes. That's got to feel so good. Thinking about how far behind you were as Asakura has to run now, but the flash stun is there and the Shield of Daybreak will break this team apart once again. Triple stun actually from Michael, but again, not enough, and it feels like this team has just not had the damage they need.
Yeah, the Lucian just getting caught out over and over again. There's so much like flashy CC and it looks so great for N20 every time. But with the Lucian just trying to pump out enough damage to make up for, you know, a full tank Hecarim and a mid lane Zillion, that there really is not enough there. And to be clear, I don't mind the build for Mechanic Maniac. That is the current build that you need to be going on Hecarim. Maybe this was an opportunity to go for a little bit more of a damage focused build, but this is more of a team composition issue. If Asakura is getting chased out from this Leona ultimate, the Gnar diving in, the Leona diving in, there is no damage left to actually stop that midline fight from going in favor of I don't know, right? Like you're looking at Meme Lord, and Meme Lord is not going to ever really die from Asakura at this point because the tankiness inherently is just too strong. And it's important to note at the same time, Meme Lord hasn't even hit. I have not seen Meme Lord ult.
That's a nice ulti, but again, Meme Lord just simply walks away, and that's the Malphite ulti gone, and the flash. They pull the trigger onto the Gnar, and it just kind of stands there question marking, like, yeah, go ahead, throw everything you got at me. We'll take your flash, we'll take your ulti, and we'll take your mid lane tier 1. Is got him down to about a third HP, but it just doesn't matter. The boomerangs do more than even the Malphite ulti engaged at this point.
Yeah, right now, looking at Haphazardous has the Manamune. Important to note that this patch, the Manamune has received a couple of changes. It is less strong on auto attacks, but more strong on abilities, which just favors this type of Sivir build. I think it is 2.7 as opposed to 2.0% mana reconciliation on that. So we'll be doing a little bit more damage with those boomerang blades than last patch even. And that was already a good bit. That was already the popular build for Sivir now. And this Anivia is online, has the important abilities, or the important items rather. And the damage trying to chase down these two is going to have to be very quick and effective.
Yeah, and you could see the third item here for Asakura is going to be the Navori Quick Blades. I just don't know
He has a pot.
if that's... Yes, the elixir is well waiting for the game-ending fight. I mean, when a game's slipping away from you like this, I kind of understand, but the thing I really don't like is the Navori Quick Blades. Wait, he did sell it, or did he?
Oh, he used it. He used it, yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be your fight. 26 seconds. That's a heavy investment. 500 golds. Dragon up in 20.
And that is the reason. And they kind of recognize that the game is starting to slip away from them. So Asakura is just putting money into those immediate stat bonuses. I don't know if it's the right call here because it just feels like you need to make better team fight calls. You need to make picks at this point. You're losing these team fights. You need to be able to get in positions where Lucian can actually walk forward, and it is not these 5v5 fights.
See, Demi using the Shield of Daybreak there just to deny any further bit of entry, but really it's Demi that's funneled back into this choke point. They need to be a little bit careful. If they find a nice engagement, this could be it for N20, but Leoncia will find a nice little chunk there onto Beigel, get a little bit more uncomfortable the longer things go. Getting antsy on the trigger there with the ulti, making sure everyone is staying alive here, but just circling and swarming our N20 on this Dragon Pit. Leoncia goes over the wall. Ooh. That's a two-man solar flare onto the back line. Goes Demi. The Culling gonna go across the team. A lot of engage, a lot of tanking going on, but the damage is pouring through. It's a 3v3 for now, a 4v4 still as everyone's gonna be revived. Leoncia is dominating as he finds one, and this fight again will be wiped. Asakura goes into the revive. He trades a kill back, but it's not enough. A double kill and over to Leoncia. It is an absolute massacre past that 16-17 minute mark when things began to change, excuse me. As this is absolute devastation now for N20. I felt like this was their game to lose, and indeed, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, once again, just the engage from Demi hitting the people that needed to happen. The solar flare only hit the tanks, but the actual dive went onto the backline, got onto Asakura, and then in the backline, meanwhile, Mechanic Maniac diving, the Malphite ultimate came through, but ultimately Haphazardous and Morgana Freeman did not take anywhere near enough damage where they needed to back off of the fight. So their DPS kept going throughout this fight, kept being a huge issue to deal with, because Demi is farming the Raptors, interestingly. But yeah, the damage was just it just kept coming through from the Sivir and the Anivia. But the Lucian just had to run away the entire time, not able to put out damage and not able to burn through this Kayn and Gnar here. There is too much healing, there's too much damage coming through, and he cannot walk forward to actually help his team.
They found Viper and Nemesis. These are the two tanks. These are the two frontliners, and Viper's been stunned and deleted. Morgana Freeman gonna pick up the second kill of the game for the Anivia. But that is a critical pick, and with Baron on the table here, Thousand Eyes, IDK are moving right towards it.
Yeah, and this can be a very, very fast Baron here. Between the Sivir damage and the Anivia with the ultimate, there is so much that is able to pump through this Baron very quickly. Without the Malphite to check it, it is just very, very easy. This is one you have to give up for N20 here. Right now, what they need to be doing is they need to be looking for picks. They need to be getting wards down in their jungle, getting situations where Lucian can walk forward and fight somebody and not just get completely stunned out of all of these team fights here. Yes, he has been doing very well overall, but it has been because they've tried to take these... Oh, no.
Oh, and they try to find Michael, but he gets the ulti down in time. Nemesis sets up 3-man Magnet Storm, but he's all by himself, and Haphazardous will slay this pony. Armor or not, it does not matter. Culling gonna go down to deny a little bit of the minion wave, but because it's Baron empowered, it's just too damn strong. The knockup finds its way onto Mechanic Maniac, and Leoncia feels very comfortable stepping up to this turret to knock this one down. Haphazardous, 1, 2, bada bing, bada boom, knocks that one down, no problem, as they are now on to the inhibitor. IDK, who are drastically far behind in this game, somehow found a way to bring this one back, get their Baron, get their siege going. Knocking down mid inhibitor will buy them a little bit more time and space for this soul that's up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and that's the big reason you want that inhibitor down. Usually you want to make sure that you're getting something done when the inhibitor falls. Don't just take it and leave it because you're giving free farm into the enemy base. But with the dragon available and the soul coming online for IDK, that's going to be a huge point of interest, and it's going to force N20 to play very conservatively. They're going to have to clear out that mid wave consistently. They have to get wards in their own jungle. They can't set up vision to actually set picks up before this dragon fight. And it just seems like the inevitable is just waiting to happen.
Yeah, and it felt like that at the beginning of this game, 2,000 Eyes, but in the other direction. I was just waiting for N20. They were going to find one clean engage, and that was going to be it. But it all started with that bot side jungle fight for IDK. That's where the game turned around and really swung in favor of IDK. They got their critical pieces of itemization, and now that they're sitting on 2 to 3 items each, the damage just comes pouring through from this Sivir, the Kayn, and the Anivia. They have enough to get through this front line, and their damage profile just seems a little bit better than N20's this game. Soul up 30 seconds, N20 have to mount to final defense.
Yeah, and you're seeing the Zilean trying to come up here. The vision did get down, but they don't have enough pressure on the map to be able to defend it, so they will just have to back off, try and predict where people are going to be here. Mechanic Maniac and Viper need to get onto the right people. That poke is going to do a lot to help in these fights. If they can get the Sivir and Anivia low while they engage, that will do a lot for them.
Nice 2-man knockup from Viper. The onslaught of shadows, but it only finds one member. Demi's still here on the front line. Michael's gonna go down. He goes into the resurrect just in time. A Sakura has to flash away. Ignite ticking. He's low. He's not doing DPS in the fight. Is Mechanic Maniac still here? Tank it up. Double kill for Leoncia as he finds another winning fight for himself, and Morgana Freeman's on a killing spree. It is another winning fight. I never doubted them, Thousand Eyes. IDK find a winning fight, find their soul, and may just march it down mid.
Yeah, the engage from Viper not hitting Haphazardous there, so was able to just completely throw boomerang blades from way back there. And then, meanwhile, like you said, Asakura unable to do anything in that fight. Every single time he is just running away for his life. And now Michael's just going to watch from his base as the Nexus goes down.
No way you can defend this one. Michael has done a lot this game, but not nearly enough as they'll pad the stats. Maybe one more fight here to go down. Solar Flare, 2 members, knock up, and oh man, it's just disaster. Culling just to try to say you tried, but no way in hell are you going to be able to save the Nexus now. IDK put their foot down, and in quarterfinals will take game number 1.
Yeah, super well played game past that like 15-20 minute mark for IDK. It looked really rough early. The bot lane started kind of popping off for N20. Asakura wasn't able to make that continue though, because they kind of just waited for these fights. They just didn't take fights that were advantageous to them, and that late game DPS issue that we talked about came to a head. Despite the fact that Lucian was massive, it did not matter when the rest of IDK were just chasing him down every single fight.
Not able to do what he needed, and it just feels like maybe a little bit of a draft gift in hindsight here. Not really too much that you can do. Yeah, you got a lot of engage, but once you run out of gas, what can a Malphite Hecarim Rel provide? It's just not enough against all the disengage that IDK have drafted. But with that game number 1 win to IDK, you cannot count N20 out. Their early game was so sensational here in this quarterfinals matchup. We'll be right back with game number 2 between these two teams. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Silent Esports. Once again, Game 2 coverage brought to you by Necrox and Thousand Eyes once again. And N20 taking on IDK. Game 1 was close. It was a swift turnaround. And Game 2, I expect nothing less than that intensity.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of similar bans. The Wukong is a change up this time around because Barbarians now have a different top laner. Viper has dropped out. Asakura has moved up to the top lane, and Clan 7 is in the AD carry position now. So Asakura plays a good amount of Wukong. They're going to ban that away, especially because Asakura looked really good on the Lucian in game 1. It's obviously a player that is pretty solid if given the resources, so they're just gonna take that off the board. The Galio taken away as well, and Rel once again being taken for the Barbarians here.
Run it back, man. Run it back. N20 want to see the same thing go down, or at least for the beginning. They're going to grab themselves the Rel. Again, a very powerful champion, can be very useful. Getting that flashy engage, as you coined it, Thousand Eyes, but IDK are sticking to their guns in the Kayn. Leoncia obviously popping off. We doubted the Eclipse Red Kayn, but it came through.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a lot of it was just the extra healing and the other items that were purchased. I don't think the Eclipse was the correct call. I think despite the nerf Score Drinker is still the better option for Red Kayn. It's just such a great item for him. Now we'll see how N20 is going to change this draft around coming into this game too. The Leona obviously being taken once again, as it worked really, really well for Demi in game 1. The Hecarim is being taken here, and I'm getting a little worried because I don't want to see the same composition from N20 going forward.
If it's the same thing, we'll get a Malphite, but that, I think, was the biggest problem. Your damage profile is just not diverse enough when you pick the Malphite. Yes, technically, he does ability power and does that magic damage, but it's a Malphite. Like, I mean, he's not doing that kind of damage.
I would say that the bigger issue was the Malphite combined with the Zillion in the mid lane there. If they had gone for some kind of DPS mage in the back line that could just keep pumping out damage over and over again, that would have helped even things out, would have been able to like create a double threat composition that would have, then you split those two up. They're harder to kill, and you have, one person who can actually participate in these fights. The Lucian was never able to actually get in there, as we are now in that second ban phase. Ashe and Ahri being taken for N20 and I don't know respectively. The Cho'Gath once again taken off the board. Set being taken away. Riven, another champion that is on Asakura's top lane champ pool, so they're really trying to keep Asakura off his favorites.
Keep him in check, make sure nothing crazy is going to come out, and only a couple things have been swapped up. Instead of the Gnar in R3, we're going to get the Ahri and the Ashe instead of the Malphite here for N20 as well. But in second phase now, we go with our picks. We still have to get a marksman in tow for IDK. And I'm curious what they're going to pick up to match this Ashe. Typically, you'd see something to match the range, something of the likes of the Caitlyn.
Jinx?
Possibly.
Jinx is still available. Jinx was banned away last time, but the Sivir is the comfort pick here, and I think it's fine. I think Sivir is in a pretty good spot. We saw how much, despite all the engage, Sivir could stay really far back, just keep throwing those boomerang blades, and just put out so much damage throughout the fights. And when you compare that to Asakura on that Lucian, that is where the big problems in those team fights came up. Ashe this time around will be able to participate even when chased out of fights, but it is a little bit less damage, which is why the Xerath coming through here is a great pick. We're looking at right now a lot of long range poke damage between Ashe and Xerath here. I'm a little concerned because Hecarim and Rel are kind of like dive engage champions. They want to start these 5v5 fights, and generally when you're looking at Ashe and Xerath together, they want to be a siege comp. They want to try and pressure towers. They want to force a lot of resources into trying to just stay alive under the tower.
Yeah, just trying to survive, and with the range that they have, it seems like a tall task. Darius, though, is in for N20. And this is where my eyes have really been the entire time. This top lane pick, it's going to have to be blind. And indeed, the Darius will come through. And that's a strong top side between Hecarim and Darius. But, oh, we're getting an Alawi, man. It's going to be a bloodbath here in top lane.
Yeah, it is going to be one there. Meme Lord has a lot of games on this Alawi. It is a comfort pick, and it does work fairly well into the Darius. You have the the poke, the long range ability to just keep putting damage on this Darius without actually engaging with him. And once level 6 comes, Alawi generally becomes ungankable because you try and go in on there, she slams the ground, brings out all the tentacles, and just never ever dies.
And it's one of those champions, especially that if you don't play against it a lot, and you have to remember the elo that we are observing here, if you don't play against Alawi enough, you forget how incredible Alawi is when her win conditions are met. If she's sitting in her lane for 15 minutes, she's gonna have a whole hell of a lot of tentacles around her. You try to 2-3 man that Alawi, she's gonna slap down, she's gonna get the ultimate going, and yeah, it's not gonna be a fun time. So you really gotta execute well up on that top side if you do want to see N20 abuse that Alawi. But outside of that, there's not too much here that is abusable. Already pre-6 doesn't have really anything to get out of a Hecarim gank. Really just the flash and the charm there. But bot lane, pretty safe indeed with the Sivir Spell Shield. Leona can throw down some CC for peel as well. So N20 really going to have to be selective with where they're going. And I'm curious, Thousand Eyes, where you think N20's angle of attack should be.
I mean, the possibility of early ganks on this Alawi is, I think, fairly strong. If Darius can get off the ground, get that stride breaker early, and has that ghost flash, there are a multitude of opportunities then for Darius to keep engaging on Alawi and pressure that lane and just kind of stomp it into the ground, which Alawi cannot really deal with too effectively. But past that, you're looking at, the Ahri is going to be possibly a gank target there. Xerath can put enough damage down that Ahri could greed and stay in lane. That is kind of just really how well is Xerath going to be able to poke out the Ahri. And meanwhile, on this bot side, you're looking at a somewhat similar style here. The Ashe is going to be trying to poke people with the volleys. If Sivir uses the spell shield at the wrong time and Hecarim is able to then come in while that spell shield is down, that can turn a little hairy, even with the Leona peel there, because of how much of the slow Ashe has. Rel has all that crowd control. There's a lot of great crowd control from N20. It's just, are they going to be able to lower the health bars enough going into fights to actually pull the win out?
Gonna need something here if you're N20. Gonna need that early play, and you've got a lot of tools to do it. You have a strong top side, you have the Ashe engage, you have the Hecarim to make things go on early. But I don't know, man, N20, it feels like they were in a spot to just absolutely rinse last game, and then it all just fell apart after one fight at about 16-17 minutes or so in the bot side jungle. So I could say I would expect to get them a lead, or them to get a lead rather here. Not 100% confident in that statement, but if they do get a lead, you just have to stay on top of it. You can't let silly mistakes throw the game away, giving away shutdowns, free dragons, objectives across the board, because that's how IDK can not only come back into game number 2 just like they did into game 1, but that's how they kick you out of playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest thing that I'm really watching in this game is that top lane matchup. Like I said, the Asakura played really well, is on a champion that can be really aggressive and just win lane really hard against anybody. But what I really want to see is, are IDK going to make the same mistakes that they did last game? So last game, we saw them try and take on these fights that they just had no opportunity to win, right? The Dragon fight was an example, the Rift Herald where Kayn went down and Meme Lord walked down to try and help, but there was not any opportunity that Meme Lord was going to get Leoncia out of it. So like, those are the mistakes that need to be punished even more in this type of a composition, because when a poke type of composition, or one that kind of opts into a bit of poke, like Xerath and Ashe do, when that falls behind, you struggle so much to make anything happen because the poke means nothing and you don't have enough in the tank as far as disengage to actually win out any team fights.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And you have to get enough poke in to be able to make your composition worthwhile. And now as Spectre Delay counts down once again, things get really serious here for N20. This is it, lay everything on the line. Nemesis had a couple nice engages last game. We saw a couple from Viper as well. Will be out of this game, but you have to ask the same, right? You have to get those clean picks, clean fights, or this series and your playoff chances could come crashing down. Final thoughts here. Maybe our last time we get to do this in Draft for the Evening, Thousand Eyes. If there's one word you want to tell either N20 or IDK fans, what is it?
One word is very limiting. I hope you know that.
Metaphorically, one word, not literally one word. One phrase, I'll give you that much.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, just get Asakura ahead and let him split push. That is, I think, your win condition here for N20 if you want to go to game 3.
I like it. All right, I like it. And we'll see if this Darius can run over the game. We know Snowball has been possible for Darius players in the past. We've seen it in Silent Esports and across the amateur scene alike. 60 seconds left on Spectator Delay, which means we'll be back in just about that amount of time as we get what could be our final game of the evening here between N20 and IDK in the quarterfinals in our 8th bracket. We'll be right back. Welcome, everyone. Welcome all. N20 looking to bring this one to game 3 here against IDK at Silent Esports in the Void. But I'm not sure that really all things are too easy for them this time around. It feels like their win condition is really narrow. Get this Darius going, get the snowball rolling, and then try to take over the game from there. Is Meme Lord just hanging out in base. He wants no part of this Darius matchup.
Yeah.
There you go.
What items to buy, ends up picking up that little juice pack and
Gotta go to the
yeah.
u.gg to figure out what
Yeah.
starting items allow.
Need your Kool-Aid pouch to fight this Darius.
Oh
And
man.
Kayn here, once again, gonna be going for that red form as you see the Conqueror come through. So, just really nice Leona. That is such a good Leona skin. The dance is so pretty.
It's soothing. It's actually
It
quite
is.
nice. It's really, really lovely. I like it. I don't think Leona, it is sort of this juxtaposition between Leona as a champion, which is the most rage-inducing thing ever,
Oh,
and then that
absolutely.
skin.
I tell you, as somebody who plays mainly Enchanter supports, I hate Leona with all of my being. But
Oh yeah,
that's a very nice skin.
I like it. I think it's pretty good. Jungle pathing, though, will be just about as soothing as bot side leash for both junglers, so they will just practically be racing towards this top scuttle. A ward, though, is thrown down, so we'll see if Lancia will get a little bit of an advantage knowing where Mechanic Maniac is going. But on the Krugs, will take him quite a while to match Lancia's pace. Lancia actually skipped his Gromp.
Yeah, that is fairly common on Kayn. He does not do well in those single camps because he is so AoE based with the Q.
Oh, that's a nice Zenith Blade, and the
Level
Shield of
1 still.
Daybreak as well. Yeah, no level 2. Couple more minions would get there, but no real threat of a full-on kill. You would have to commit both flashes forward, and even that Clan 7 could just flash away in response. So, well played to get a nice chunk out of the Ashe, getting the pot nice and early on the lane. Feels real good, man, but just not enough to claim a kill.
Yeah.
That's Leona for you. You let her get that clean engage, and she will punish you hard. This is the first look at topside we've had all game. As Lancia's on his way.
Yeah, wants to get up and help this Alawi early on, make Asakura respect the jungle pressure, but not really going to turn into much, yeah. And now Asakura, unless Leoncia really wants to be sitting up in this top side and wasting a lot of time, you're going to be seeing Meme Lord basically saying like, well, that was it. That's the help I've gotten.
Yeah, and Meme Lord with a nice wave state, maybe calling back for his jungler, but I'm not sure that really you have any kill threat out of Darius at this point in the game. It's a nice
Oh,
pull
you
there.
always have kill threat as Darius.
No, I meant on to the Darius.
Oh, yeah.
They might actually just get straight up 2v1 by the Darius.
Yeah, at this point, Leoncio does want to come back here, and this is
he's going again regardless.
Yeah, this is a lot of time wasted here. Asakura is just gonna actually win out on the trade.
Oh my gosh, no shot he 2v1s this. Look at a lot of damage, but Leoncia's like, man, I ganked for you twice, we got nothing, I'm taking the wave. Give me this is mine.
Yeah, both Scuttle Crabs now given to Mechanic Maniac, so this is a great start now for Mechanic Maniac. And a lot of failed ganks. That does still give him the orbs, so Leoncia's time is not entirely wasted. But yeah, you're really hoping to get more than just the back off from Asakura there.
Is once again, Demi whipping out what is the best dance in League of Legends on that Leona skin, but has to interrupt the soothing sounds of Leona's Control 3 as the wave is more important, to be fair. And this is a relatively slow start. We've seen Lancia try to make it an aggressive early game, but instead of anything really happening, just giving up double scuttle and giving up so much time to Mechanic, as now this is a drastically outpaced Kayn.
Yeah, and that is to be expected to a certain degree because Hecarim's early farm potential is just really, really strong. The Kayn obviously does farm very well, but that usually comes later on. Got top lane.
Here they go. That charge doesn't go the right direction for Mechanic. He'll just throw Meme Lord back into his tower.
Yeah, I think the goal there was for Mechanic Maniac to get behind there, but did not actually get to the backside of the Alawi before clicking on her. Pushes her away from Asakura, does not get the grab, and that will be the Dragon pickup here early on for IDK.
That failed gank gives away so much, and even though Leontia had been outpaced, been out jungled basically the entirety of this game, they will get first Dragon. There's your smite secure. And next one will be Infernal, so we're getting either a Mountain or an Ocean Soul on Summoner's Rift for Game 2.
Yeah, Ocean Soul would do so well for either of these teams because of the fact that there is the Ashe and the Xerath there to just keep putting the poke down. So would be very, very good either to fight against that or to facilitate that even more. We'll see how that ends up there. Just taking a look at farm right now. Both the solo lanes for N20 doing fairly well in terms of farm. As expected, Darius winning that top side here. And then Xerath doing really well into Ahri.
Oh, that cleanse a little bit early in the Ignite. Will not be cleansed away. First blood again. Goes to IDK's bot lane. Demi making sure the engages are crispy, and an easy pick there on to Clan 7.
Yeah, Clan 7 a couple of times now in this lane has played a little bit too far forward and not respected the damage from Leona and Sivir. Leona can hit that Ashe, lock her down, and make sure both sides of that boomerang blade end up hitting.
Team Lord looking for the 1v1. There's the ulti, and that's a lot of damage. Who wins this one? Of course, it's the Darius. You never take a fight with this guy. The Chad is in. N20's top lane finds a nice return kill here.
Yeah, I was not ready for the amount of damage that Asakura put out there. I saw the grab of the spirit followed into the ultimate from Alawi and thought, wow, this is going to start turning around here for Meme Lord, but great understanding of the damage potential of the Darius and sticking with that fight to get the kill and force the TP out for Meme Lord.
Asakura will actually stay around for a little bit longer as well, not actually getting the full recall there. So we'll chill out here in top lane, not even sure, even with that base and TP coming through from Meme Lord, that this is ever a winning fight still. The Leap of Faith is your best shot at killing the Darius, but took one there and just absolutely failed in the 1v1. So Meme Lord not going to be able to really ever fight in this lane. Now, just going to be what I assume is a split push threat this game, or you have to get to an objective so early to allow your tentacles to spawn. It's a hard champion to orient yourself around, as again Zenith Blade, again the Shield of Daybreak, and again this is a beautiful engage from Demi. The Magnet Storm is there, but it doesn't matter. Clan 7 is dead, and once more this Ashe is caught out by a beautiful blade from Demi.
Yeah, Demi hitting that lockdown, hitting the boomerang blade follow-up, and then immediately hitting the solar flare after the boomerang blade popped the Leona passive. Just really good combination there, and really good just working together with haphazardous there. So as you can see, the damage from the Sivir is starting to get scary.
Yeah, and it's all about that CDR and the Dark Harvest, right? Those two combined provide quite a lot of damage. You get the Q off of cooldown, and you get that extra low HP damage from the Dark Harvest. As here comes Mechanic Maniac. They're looking for a turn kill onto Nemesis, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to find it. The Ignite is ticking, and Nemesis will go down in what is basically a solo kill from Demi, but will finally lose the life here of the Leona, trying to flash away, but not gonna work out this time, as Hazardous might pay for the sins of his support, but here comes Leoncia. The bouncing blade will find it. The Xerath ulti gonna go down. The Arcane Combat gonna prop the spell shield, but there's the Enchanted Crystal Layer from Clash 7. It's a return kill, and it's a bloodbath and a fiesta on Summoner's Rift. And God King Michael has shown up once again. The Umbral Trespass gonna go forward, trying to get himself away over the wall with a Q. There's the sweep over the wall, and not able to find the final bits of damage as Michael.
Yeah, Clan 7 getting a little you're able to show up there and help the team out, getting the ultimate down onto Haphazardous there. Once the spell shield was down, that was the easy pickup there. And Shodan of Demi actually really doing a good job there, getting the one-on-one kill onto Nemesis. And now Sivir and Leona with that ultimate available. Top lane now. Asakura needs to back off because there is a Lowy.
That's, I mean, an ulti, right? I mean, you got ulti for Ghost, I guess, so fair trade in top lane.
Trade. That is actually
on the hunt.
Trade.
Here you go. They're going to try to pull this one. The spell shield going to keep this Sivir safe for now, but a lot of damage spilling down, and the cleanse is there for Clan 7. Can he get the final? No! It's disaster. And finally, Mechanic Maniac will arrive and take down the remaining double kill, sadly, to Nemesis. Ooh, Sakura, that's so dangerous. Playing with fire there in Meme Lord, but oh man, I feel bad for Clan. It's had a rough time. Onslaught is shattered onto the back line as Leoncia is going to try to get away, but Mechaniac is already dead. Morgana going to find a free kill. Now they're looking for more. Arrow's going to go way wide. Nemesis forced to flash away, but looking for more is Morgana Friedman. Not able to find anything there with the Spirit Rush and extra movement speed, so backing away for now, 5-6. We still have a relatively close game, but IDK in the lead.
Yeah, and that bot lane fight there, I don't know what Clan 7 was doing. Walking forward there, you got Haphazardous low, and you have Mechanic Maniac there to clean it up. You have no reason to walk up and trade the kills. Just let your jungler get it. Unfortunately, does fall in the process, and Nemesis actually picked up both of those kills. So, a little unfortunate in terms of where the money actually went, but a good gank nonetheless.
A good gank will feel good at that time. Sadly, the double kill went over to Nemesis, so actually giving away what is about 600 gold to the Rel. Willmaker, nice and tanky, but definitely would have preferred that one on Hecarim. And it is a tanky build for Mechanic Maniac as well. We'll be opting for the Turbo Chem Tank once again on this pony. Nemesis maybe opting for the same as the Bomby Cinder is in inventory.
Yeah, that will be the Chem Tank as well. We did see it last game. I don't mind the Chem Tank build as much this game around because you got the Xerath in the mid lane as opposed to the Zillion from the previous game. Clan 7 also able to actually stay back and get some damage down. So this is fine in my opinion. As far as just the rest of that, I think so we're close to seeing the Stride Breaker come online for the Darius, and that is a huge push point for Darius. Alawi will basically not be able to take fights without putting herself in a rough spot.
Here comes Leo once again looking for a kill this time, and can they find it? That's the execute damage, and look at this from Darius. Here comes the onslaught of shadows as well, Mechanic Maniac. Man, Leo, that's just unlucky, my friend. You're ganking the wrong guy, and basically turns it around, finally getting some help from his jungler, but that is just disaster here for IDK as N20 find 2 for nothing and will grab the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Meme Lord getting really close there to Asakura, expecting the jungle help to come through, but took too much damage. Asakura able to claim that kill. Teleport from Meme Lord onto this Rift Herald. Looks like they want to fight it.
They don't want to give this one away. Morgana Friedman has the Spirit Rush. There's the first charge, and Enchanted Crusader will not find the mark, but looking for more is N20. They're going to try to turn this around on a Beam Lord, but all of that Leap of Faith damage will slow up King Michael, and Morgana Friedman will find a nice kill, but the Rift Herald will actually go the same way. Ari has found a kill and Shelly to boot.
Yeah, big disappointing call there for N20. Had the Darius around to try and help with it, but unfortunately the TP and the Leap of Faith doing a lot of work got King Michael getting caught out, and Morgana Friedman did miss the charm initially, so I thought the fight was going to go haywire, but able to pick up this Rift Herald and get a bunch of damage onto this mid tower.
Look at the CS difference in bot lane, Thousand Eyes. I just realized Clan 7 is having a rough time down here.
Oh, it was also a rough time in the previous game there. Once Sivir starts getting online, she farms so effectively. Like, some of that is just Clan 7 not doing terribly well in this lane, but a lot of that is the Sivir just being so effective at farming. Boomerang Blade and the Ricochet both just clearing waves out super fast, especially when you're going for this mana immune build that gets a lot of damage into those abilities.
Yeah, and Clan 7 trying to do his best to keep up, but 30 CS down will always feel a little bit rough. You gotta say props, though, to God King, as here we go once again. Clan 7 forced to use the cleanse and the flash immediately to get out of the deadly combination here from Demi, as they're hovering around in this 3v3. Knight need to be a little bit careful, though. Nemesis could find a big engage, and that could spell doom crashing down the opposite direction. And now Nemesis is slow. What are you doing? But there, it was a bait. It was a bait. That is a beautiful magnet storm as the Umbral Trespasser will come through. Nemesis gonna go a little bit low, but Leo's the real man in danger. Double kill over into Clan 7, and now they're looking to press the further issue as Demi into the back line will shut down Nemesis, but support and support action doesn't mean all too much. It just means that a double kill will be passed over to Demi. These supports are so filthy rich, but Mechanic will clean up the fight in a double kill. That was beautiful from Nemesis. That crash down, I thought it was a mistake, but even I was baited.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake. It just happened to work out fairly well there because of the Magnet Storm being available. Nemesis pulling everybody in, and then the crowd control coming through. Mechanic Maniac hitting a wonderful onslaught of shadows following that up. And all of the damage afterwards was just way too much for the rest of that team. As Leoncia did end up falling later on, but
oh, it's stolen. Leo gonna be able to pick that one up, and then auto finishes off Mechanic as well. Not only do you lose the dragon, you lose your jungler as well. Face checking up is Demi. A lot of CC gonna pour through. The Everfrost, the crash down, the stun with the attract and repel as the locket is there, negating a lot of damage, but it does not matter. God King Michael will find the first kill on the Xerath, as this has gotten a little bit sloppy from these two teams. Kills spilling out left and right, objectives being stolen, objectives being taken. Still 12-10 though, as the gold lead negligible. Still anyone's game. IDK really would like to close this series out. Meme Lord, oh my gosh, Alawi, man. What a champion.
What a fun champion. Yeah.
Oh, that's dead. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
That is dead, in fact. You are correct. Yeah, Darius will fall there, and that is the power of Alawi. She can poke you out super low and then hit that leap of faith to just obliterate the rest of your health bar. Even despite the fact that Asakura was able to flash away, Meme Lord is dead.
Yeah, just straight up dead. No way away, Meme Lord. All right, goodbye. It's here comes Xerath with the one shot. Two shot will not connect. Where's the third? Here comes Mechanic Maniac, the flash away. Fourth, no, not gonna connect either. So Morgana will live to see another day. 4-1 on this Ahri though. Would have been nice to collect that bounty.
Absolutely, yeah. Getting Xerath a little bit more gold would be very good. He is doing well in the farm department as expected. Ahri does not care for these poke long range mage matchups because she is a bit shorter range. However, as far as the kills go, she is doing fairly well here, and now haphazardous in a bad spot.
Yeah, once again, it feels like this bot lane is popping off. Clan 7 is going to find one, but it's returned with the boomerang from hell. As now we get support and support once again. Demi, just leave it. Oh, man. Here it comes. Is it Darius? And Demi will fall as well. Bot lane, though, this fighting does not stop. Finally, Demi, there you go. The execute will be used.
Yeah, honestly, if I'm Asakura there, I'm not using the ulti. I'm pretty sure Demi dies regardless. You want to have that ulti for any kind of fight that could ensue coming forward. but does pick that one up with the ghost being popped as well. Now, that boomerang hurt. Sivir dies, but doesn't matter because of that Duskblade. So does end up picking up a kill regardless. And now this top lane taking a lot of damage. Clan7 gonna try and push them away from it.
Yeah, and will be enough to defend here, this top tier 2, but I don't know. I feel like while the scoreboard is technically in favor of this blue side N20 team, as God King may get run down, but now they're trying to turn the tables as Mean Lord and Leo have overextended themselves here a little bit. Here we go. The Onslaught of Shadows is in, and this is going to be a double kill. There it is. Double kill on over to God King Michael, and with solo AP, that's going to feel real good. All of a sudden, I was about to say IDK should still have this game basically under their control, but a double kill does not help that argument.
Yeah, just no respect for the lack of jungler on the map, and how quickly at this point with home guards and the chem tank Hecarim can show up. So there is Mechanic Maniac basically just cleaning things up and giving 600 gold over to Michael. So that will do a lot. And now that top tower going down will also help, as the dragon is going to be available soon. This is soul point already for IDK, as they have been able to just get every single dragon on the board here.
Yeah, this would be Mountain Soul over to an Alawi Leona. That would feel just incredible.
A Fed Leona.
Getting that stats up. Yeah, 4 and 5. Oh, flash away. Respectful there from Clan7. But that means in 20 seconds, this Ashe has no escape.
Yeah, and with how these fights have been going, that is a very scary prospect there. Clan7 not looking super hot on this Ashe, and has not respected the engage potential consistently from multiple people here. TP coming forward. It seems like IDK know they need to get this dragon.
IDK, if they can grab this one, that is their win condition. That is absolutely massive. Leo gonna find a little bit of a knock-up, a little bit more damages. Look at that. That's one boomerang. Actually, technically 2 boomerangs. There's one hit earlier. And the knock-up over the wall is pulled Leo. That was scary. That could have been an easy pick on the jungler if they chained the CC properly, and that would have been soul denied.
Yeah, but Leoncia getting... Oh, here's the engage.
Here you go. Onslaught of Shadows is there, and Leo's blowing up immediately, and the Xerath is free firing for the backline. This is a leap of faith from Morgana Freeman and Meme Lord, but they're killed immediately as they're trying to find the kills, but just not quite yet. Now in a 2v2 is Haphazardous flashing forward to be the hero. Everyone is killed on Summoner's Rift except for this Sivir. The only man remained to tell the tale of what happened at the Dragon Pit.
Yeah, and that fight was just the tale of 2 champions. That was the Alawi and the Sivir. Mechanic Maniac gets a great engage with the Onslaught of Shadows, but that had his team then walk up as a group to follow up on it, which meant that Meme Lord was able to just grab a soul, pop the Leap of Faith, and the amount of tentacles to just smash down onto everybody in that team fight brought them super low, which meant that Sivir then could follow up extremely effectively.
Oh no. What is going to go on? Is this stolen? No, it's Soul over to Leo, but Mechanic will have to run. That was too close, Thousand Eyes. That was a race back to the Dragon Pit, but still, all the same, Soul, Mountain Soul, going to be handed over to IDK and N20 now on the ropes. Maybe pushed out of playoffs.
Yeah, you can see the gold lead no longer existent despite the fact that they have that kill lead. Just the Sivir damage coming through is such a huge problem. And without any of those mountain dragons, there's not going to be much in terms of defense to handle that. Asakura has been the bright spot of this team. Baiko has a lot of kills, but has been donated a lot of them. But Asakura right now needs to try and split push. If you bring this Alawi to that 1v1 scenario, that's when you might have an opportunity to try and win these fights. But if you put her with multiple people, she's going to just pull your soul out your body and beat the ever-living crap out of you.
Nemesis is experiencing that right about now. They're trying to run the hell away from this allowing Meme Lord doing way more damage than anticipated there. So Nemesis will have to channel recall, get back to this fight as soon as possible. Scuttle Crab, not actually sure who that went to. Let me check it.
Smited.
Yeah, Leo actually going to pick that one up, and that's probably more valuable than you can imagine. Vision around Baron Pit, especially unclearable vision at this point in the game, that is critical.
Absolutely, especially when there is no real objective available for the next 4 minutes. That would be a huge, huge help for N20 to keep them, you know, aware of what is happening around that Baron Pit. But with Sivir being able to clear these waves and the ability to just back off and go out of vision, it is now a very scary, scary couple of minutes for N20.
And they need to be a little bit careful about face checking here, as that recall just barely went through. That actually could have been pretty bad for IDK, but they will just be able to get back to the base and out on the map in safe fashion. Gold lead, negligible. Does not matter at all at this point in the game. Couldn't mean any less. What does matter, though, is the soul that has been handed over to IDK. All 4 dragons in a row, and at 27 minutes, that soul feels like 5,000 to 6,000 gold in value. Plus Elder is up, and you constantly have to worry about the threat of Leo maybe trying to find an engage here. 2-man knockup. Solar Flare gonna go down and Clash cannot get away. Clan 7 is deleted immediately as the Magnet Storm has to be popped to try to get away, but just not enough, and the damage will come pouring through. Astrika not gonna be able to find himself away. Haphazard is on a rampage as this turret will obviously fall. No threat in this team. Maybe the Zerath ulti can find Meme Lord dodging out, has the dancing shoes on, will be able to find himself to safety for now. God King Michael trying to do his best to dissuade the base from falling. Demi trying to find something with his Zenith Blade, not able to do it. The Spirit Rush forward from Morgana picks up a free kill there onto God King Michael, has no summoners to get himself to safety. Inhibitor down. 28 minutes in, IDK are on the hunt and moving back to their base to what look to be maybe the final push of the night.
Yeah, and Leoncia just getting that win for his team there. Moving forward, saw the 2 carries pushed up in front of the rest of the team, which meant that that was a flash gauge approved, and yeah, past that it was just a lot of good follow-up there. Sakura not in that fight until late and wasn't able to walk up. Once those carries were down, there's no reason to keep trying to take that fight.
No reason at all, and will lose your life for it. Mountain Soul, Inhibitor, and everything you could ask for. Except for maybe a slightly larger gold lead here for IDK, will put them in prime position to grab this Baron. To be fair, it is relatively slow compared to what a normal Sivir could do with an attack speed oriented build, but regardless, 6,000 HP, and here come N20. They don't want to give this one up. Mechanic Maniac is hovering, going awfully fast with the Dead Man's Plate and the Turbo Chem Tank there. Solar Flare not going to be able to find the mark, but here you go. The Leap of Faith is there once again. Everyone is being slapped down by this Meme Lord. Nemesis is going to go down at the end of the fight as well. Double kill on over to Haphazardous. Double kill to Morgana. Clan 7 doing his best, but will be flashed on. Triple kill to the Ahri. And the Orb of Deception, it will be the Orb of Defeat here for N20. They tried to mount their last defense of the Baron Pit. They will pay the price of their Nexus.
Yeah, could not get in on that fight. Demi did not hit a great Solar Flare, but it didn't matter because of the huge Leap of Faith there. Every time you're fighting objectives, that Leap of Faith is such a huge hassle to deal with, because the only way to fight against it is to back off and let it time out, but you can't give the Baron away at the same time. But In the meantime, they end up giving the Nexus away. So congratulations to IDK for pulling out the win.
Look at that Sivir damage, man. This Dark Harvest build with just spam and Qs, it's legit. Yeah, Meme Lord did more damage than anyone else on the enemy team. Yeah, obviously a lot with the Leap of Faith there in those clustered fights, but it's really hard to assess just how much Sivir is doing in these fights because of how much AoE those boomerangs do with a pure lethality and attack damage that is built.
Yeah, it is the build of the month, and you definitely don't want to be behind when you're fighting against it because of how much damage it will pop through people. Leona does amplify that as well, so it is just when it is behind, it is really not great because it won't be able to chug through tanks. It won't be able to put out the same kind of DPS. But when it is ahead, it can absolutely push people off objectives, and it can just run train through a team fight if you line up correctly against it.
Yeah, and they lined up indeed for the Leap of Faith and those bouncing boomerang blades as N20 are defeated here in a swift 2-0 fashion, but it's IDK at the end of the night that comes out on top and looks incredible as they move themselves towards semifinals. That will just about wrap it up for us here, though, at Style Esports. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this stream. Good luck to you all in the rest of your games throughout playoffs. I've been Necrox, and joining me, Thousand Eyes. We will see you all at a later time. Good night.